What's one thing your business can't survive without? It's not your computers, not your website, not even your best employee. It's you. And yet, most entrepreneurs leave themselves completely unprotected, financially vulnerable if they get sick, injured, or worse. It's time we had an honest conversation about what that really means. Let me ask you a question. You've insured everything in your business, your office, your equipment, your systems. But what about you? What happens to your business if you can't come to work tomorrow? Not because you don't want to, but because you physically can't. Let me tell you about Josh. He owned a successful marketing firm, small team, great clients, thriving revenue. But one morning, a stroke changed everything. He couldn't work. No backup plan. No disability coverage. Within 3 months, the business had lost 2 major clients. His wife had to step in to manage payroll, and they drained their emergency savings. That's when reality hit. He had insured everything except himself. And if you're like most entrepreneurs, you are the business. You're the engine. You're the operator, the closer, the leader. You're the chief cook and bottle washer who keeps everything running. So if something takes you out of the game, temporarily or permanently, what happens to your income? What happens to your family? What happens to your team? Let's start with the risk that gets talked about the least, but it's the hardest. Losing your ability to earn income. Imagine your business brings in $250,000 a year, and you're responsible for 70% of that revenue. That's $175,000 gone if you're unable to work. How long could your savings last? Could your team keep things afloat? Or would you risk losing everything you've worked hard for? That's what disability insurance is for. If illness or injury takes you off the field, this coverage steps in with income. So the lights stay on, payroll gets met, and you're not forced to sell off assets or dip into retirement just to survive. Here's a statistic. 1 in 4 people will become disabled at some point in their working life. And for business owners, that risk is amplified because if you're out, your revenue may be too. And unlike W-2 employees, no one is handing you short-term or long-term disability coverage. You have to choose to protect your income. No employer is coming to rescue you with paid sick leave or a benefits package. You are the HR department, the benefits administrator, the backstop. If you don't build your own parachute, there won't be one when you need it most. Now let's talk about another hard one. What if you don't come back at all? That's where life insurance becomes essential, not just for your family, but for your business. If you have partners, do they have the funds to buy out your interest if something happens to you? Picture this. You and your partner built the company from the ground up. If something happens to you, do they have the funds to buy out your share? Or will they be forced to go into business with your spouse or adult children who may or may not have interest or experience in that field? If you carry the business debt, would the estate be on the hook for those loans? And if you're the key decision maker, what would happen to the client confidence, employee morale, or daily operations if you were to be suddenly gone? Life insurance can fund buy-sell agreements, pay off business debt, and provide your family with liquidity instead of leaving them to sell the business in a hurry, possibly at a loss. Bottom line, a life insurance policy can be the difference between an orderly transition and a fire sale. Now let's talk about the slow-moving, often ignored risk, the cost of long-term care. If you ever need extended care due to aging, illness, or cognitive decline, whether that's in your home, an assisted living facility, or a nursing home, it's not cheap. And when care is needed, it often comes during a time of crisis, a fall, a diagnosis, a sudden cognitive shift. Your spouse, your kids, they're the ones left scrambling. Do they leave work to provide care? Do they move you into their home without a plan? The burden falls squarely on their shoulders, emotionally, physically, financially. Most families are unprepared for the cost, and for the business owners, the default funding source becomes your savings or the business itself. Having a long-term care plan in place is about protecting your freedom, your assets, and your family's choices. Because when care is needed, it's often sudden, emotional, and expensive. And if you don't have a plan, someone else will have to make hard choices for you. So let me bring it back full circle. You've protected your building. You've insured your equipment. Maybe even your employees, but have you insured yourself? The one thing your business truly can't run without. Disability insurance protects your income if you're temporarily out. Life insurance protects your family and business if you're gone for good. And long-term care planning protects your legacy if you need help later in life. You've worked way too hard, sacrificed too much, and built something too valuable to leave it vulnerable and to chance. So here's my question for you. If something happened to you, would your business survive? Would your family be okay? Would everything you've built keep going? If the answer is anything less than a confident yes, it's time to put the right protection in place. Let's protect you so the business you've built can keep moving forward no matter what. Picture your business 10 years from now, still growing, still thriving, still serving clients, not because you never faced hardship, but because you planned ahead. Protecting yourself isn't just about good business. It's the ultimate act of leadership. If you're ready to take the next step to see what plan is best for you, give us a call at 866-653-PLAN. That is, again, 866-653-PLAN. We look forward to meeting you.